welcome you all for the last session. Speaker for this session is Mr. Ganesh Tharte. He is working in the same institute. He is having 11 years of experience. He is most techno-savvy person from our department. Actually, as a sake of interest, he learned latex, but now, from last 5 years, he mastered in the same. Definitely, like other session, you will enjoy this session also. So now I will hand over to Ganesh Tharte, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for your nice words. Welcome you all in this last session of 2 days workshop, Latex for Beginner. In this session, we will learn how to create the professional presentations. So let's begin with. Am I audible? Okay. So let's start. In this session, we covered all these sections one by one. So Beamer is the flexible latex class for making slides presentation in .pdf format, and we know that this .pdf format it's globally accepted and available. Just add a couple of new features in latex will generate the Beamer presentation. As you probably guess, this presentation was made using the Beamer. Not even mine, even all the presentation of these workshops are made with the Beamer presentation. So what are the advantages of Beamer? All the standard commands of latex work in the Beamer. So if basic commands of latex are known to you, then it is very easy to make Beamer presentation. The title slide, table of content with clickable links are created automatically. So we can just check this. Whenever we click on this navigation bar, it directly switches to that section. So that is the clickable links. Then one can easily create overlay and dynamic effect. So for example, in this current slide, 3 topics are covered and 2 are remaining. So this is one type of dynamic effect. Those topics are covered are clearly visible and remaining are invisible. Then the inbuilt themes allows you to change the appearance of your presentation. So this is one type of theme here, blue color theme. We discussed later about the themes. Then due to Beamer, your presentation look professional and easier for the audience to follow. So let's begin with Beamer. Any Beamer presentation is made up of series of slides. So let me demonstrate this. So for example, we have this article class. We select the font size at 12 point, and its output is this one. So it looks like the A4 page in which we have all the text. Now I want to convert this article in the form of presentation. So one by one we use the command here and convert this article into Beamer. So very beginning we just use here Beamer, and then Beamer is a series of frames. So we add frames here. So we add the frame of first text. Whatever you want in your first slide, that is the text come in the curly brackets. Start with frame, curly bracket, and then end that frame with another curly bracket. Similarly, for the remaining text, I'm adding the slides. Now you can observe carefully. We add 3 frames here. So in our output, we get 3 frames. Okay, so you can just check it. So we get first frame containing just this is text for first slide, then second slide, and then third slide. So it is very easy. Whatever we want to add in that particular slide, just enclose that in the curly brackets. Or there is one more command, begin frame, and we add here end frame. Still output remains same, so there is no change. Okay, so either use just slash frame and curly brackets, or begin frame and end frame. Now each frame produce one or more slide. It is little bit confusing because as per our demonstration, each slide correspond to one frame. But whenever we add some overlays, then it produces a illusion, or it creates more than one slide. Means one frame can create more than one frame can create more than one slide. So we already discussed the basic structure of frame. It starts with begin frame, then we can add frame title, then body of that frame or latex code, and then end frame. So for example, for this first slide, I want to add frame title. So frame title is suppose first slide, and if you run it, the output for that okay. So we see in here the first slide, that is the title for the that particular slide. So I added the title for this my current slide as a frame. Now there are some uh, special types of frames. So first special type of frame is the title page. So for example, for this particular presentation, my title page is this. So Beamer presentation is the title. Then my name is the author. Then college name, then email address and dates. So we can include all these things in our title page. So whatever you want to display on title page, you have to add that in preambles. So structure for this title page is, firstly make a frame, and inside that frame just add the command either make title or title page. So we add title page for this, and for title page some extra things, that is author. So we add author as, again we add uh, my name as it is, then institute, institute, okay, institute. So in short we write PCCOE Pune, and then we can include so many things in this. So we add date, so in short we write today only, so it takes automatically today's date. Then we can add logo, title. So whatever you want on your first title page, we can add it. So Beamer presentation or just Beamer, and if you run it, so you can observe that there is no change, because we just add this content, but we not define the frame which contain the title page. So we add the frame which includes the title page or make title. Now run it. So we can say this, the presentation, Beamer presentation is the title, then author, college name and date, today's date. So whatever you want to add in that title page, just add that in the preambles. So just check what are the commands which can added in the title page. So title page defaultly create this title and which include the following information. So for example, we can add author, institute, the title, subtitle, we can add logo like this, and then subject, date, and email ID. Then if any of these values are missing, suppose we skip the logo or date, then it will not included in our title page. The next special frame is the table of content. It is also very important. Then how to generate table of content. For example, for my presentation, this slide is the table of content. Okay. So how to include table of content? So for that, the structure is just add the frames and inside the frame, add the command / table of contents. For example, we add table of content here. So / frame and then table of content. Okay, but be careful. This table of content is totally based on sections and subsections. Means this Beamer presentation divide into the sections and subsection or sub-subsection. So all these points or sections noted here are the sections. And to add that section, we have to use the command /section, section name. To add the subsection, we use /subsection and then subsection name, and similarly subsection name, and so on. So what is use of this section? Note that this section, subsection are used in between the frames. Means whatever section you want to add, you have to add that before the starting of that section, outside the frame. So suppose I'm added here first section, then just taking this for second slide, second section, sorry, second section, and lastly added here third section. Okay, and already we have added the frame table of contents, so automatically all these sections are added in that table of content. So we run it again. Okay, so these are the table of content. If you want to name that frame, we can add again frame title, or simply we call it as indexed, and again run it. So we get proper title frame. Sorry, M is missing. Okay, now it's run. So we get title here, indexed, and all the sections one by one. Now, one more use of the section command. So this section command automatically added the entry not only in the table of content, it also add that in the navigation bar shown here. So this is navigation bar. Then theme. So themes can change the entire look and feel of your presentation. Different themes can be selected by using the command /use theme and name of that particular theme inside the curly bracket. So we have some standard theme name here. For this particular presentation, I am using Berkeley as a theme. So whatever we add here, we just add one thing here, use theme, and suppose we use Berkeley again or wash. It is again standard theme. So if you run it, we get a particular format for that slides. So that is beauty of Beamer presentation. We can change it. Suppose again use Berkeley, so it gives the same output. Okay, let's check it. It is similar to my presentation, no change. Then sometimes it may happen how to remember all these commands, because whenever we add this, we use so many commands to create the Beamer presentation. So there is one shortcut. So what we do, we can use ready-made templates. So how to use that ready-made templates? So step by step, I elaborate that. So step one, in the function toolbar, click on wizards, then select quick Beamer presentation, then almost all the standard things available there. So select any one of your choice, then tick all the corresponding packages available there and modify the content. So if you modify the content, you get proper presentation for it. So suppose this is the toolbar. So we select wizards, then quick Beamer presentation. Then we have a preview of that particular theme here. So take any one, whatever you want, just click it. For example, I'm just using the Warsaw before this presentation, or okay, or select any one of this, and then we can add title, then language we can check, and all packages, and just add. So we get all the required packages, commands, everything here. No need to add uh, by your own. Now this percentage sign indicates that it is hidden. So if you want to add something, then just remove it. For example, we add institute, logo, date, subject, and so on. So institute, suppose again PCCOE, and then date, we use slash today again, or randomly we can select this June 23rd, 2020. Okay, and then how to include logo. So first of all, let me clear, if you want to add logo like this, then first of all, it's a file or JPG file, PDF file. It is stored in same folder where this template.txt file is there. So suppose I want to add that logo again for PCC. So use slash include graphics, then key values means width we can add. Suppose its width is 1.5 centimeter, and then height. So we can add height 1.5 centimeter, and then name of image in the curly bracket. So we have to add that. So in particular, for that particular logo, I'm use the PCCOE dot PNG. Let me check. Okay, let it be PNG, and just run it. Okay, so PNG file is not found, means this extension is wrong. So we use JPG, JPG, and then run it. So automatically that logo comes here. So this is inbuilt theme, Warsaw. If you change the Warsaw and again use Barkili, then check the position of logo. Okay, so it fits at the top. So it depends which theme we use for our presentation. Then we already discussed about this. Whatever you want to add, just remove this percentage sign from it and add that. We get all the things in your title page. Then color theme. Sometimes it may happen you like the layout of theme but dislike the color. So we can change the color of theme. So to change the color, we use the command / use color theme and name of color theme. So we have some standard color theme here, but be careful whenever we change the color, it changes either total color scheme or just inner color scheme or outer color scheme. So if you observe carefully in these three frames, outer color theme, we have same command, use color theme. In inner color theme, again use color theme, and for this use color theme. So all commands are same, but name of these colors are different. So if you use one of this, for example, we use seagull. So we add here. I am using first of all Berkeley's theme in this, and then use color theme and theme name is seagull. Then theme remains same, layout remains same, but the color combination get changed. Okay, you can see the theme remains same, but these colors get changed. Instead of blue, now it is a sky blue color. Now similar way, we can change the inner color and outer color using same theme, but the distinct parameters. Lily, orchid, and rose. This for inner color. It affects the inner color means like this box color may be changed. Then outer color means this navigation bar, title bar, or this slide bar or footline bar. So all these three commands are same. Now observe carefully, the background of this particular theme is white. So whenever I want a white frame, no need to add any particular command or extra command for that. But whenever we want to change the background, for example, in this frame, we change the background as green. So for this green background, we use the command set beamer color in curly bracket background canvas, and in next curly bracket background is equals to BG is equals to green exclamation mark 30, means it is 30%. It is not a purely green or dark green. So whatever percentage you set here, according to state of that green color will appear at the background. So one more command is there for changing the background background color, and that command is dimmer set average background. So effect is same. Instead of green, if you replace it by red, if you replace it by green, we get same shade again, previous shade. So both the commands set beamer color background canvas and beamer set average background color and percentage of that gives same output. If you want to check, okay, we just apply this command in a continuation. For example, I want to add uh, first slide, and then we use the command say beamer set background red 50%, and after completion of that frame we close the curly bracket. Be careful, this is very important. If you miss this curly bracket, then afterwards all the backgrounds for each frame becomes red. So it is very important whenever you set the background color, it is for one particular frame or throughout the frame. It depends on this curly brackets. So close it and just run it. So instead of this white, we get red color. Now, one can ask the question whether only solid colors are set into the backgrounds or we can shade it. So yes, obviously we can shade it. And for shading, we use same command, just we change one word. Instead of set average background, we use set template shading background, and for shading we use two colors, orange and yellow, and in similar pattern we can run it. But be careful, this command is used before the starting of frame, and after end frame we have to complete the brace bracket. Next, same as shading, we can set the grid add the background like this. So I'm setting the grid with some particular points. I'm setting here for 1.1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter. So this is grid with background color is green. So at a time I am using two commands here. Firstly, I have set green color and then setting this grid background. This number of point is optional. We can set a grid with 1 centimeter or 1 point or 1 inches. It is up to you. Then the text. You can use the following text command and environment in the Beamer to change the way your text is displayed. So these are some standard, and I think it is covered in first section. So just we have to add these commands before the word. Whatever effect we get, it is displayed on the right side of this table. So we can check it. For example, text BF. So it bolds the text PCCA. Then alert command gives the red color and so on. So these are some standard commands to change the display of text. Then text border. So basically, when we solve something and we want to display final answer, then we use the boxes in generally. To access this command, you must first add user package fancy boxes in the preambles. So very important. If you add this package, then only these commands run. So here are some examples for text border. So first command is shadow box for the Beamer word. Inside the curly bracket, we have Beamer word. So we can check the output here only. So Beamer word having the shadow box. Then simply F box, fancy box. It only add the rectangular box over that particular word. Then double box, then oval box, and capital oval box. So these are some standard text box for a particular text. Then the font size. The default font size in Beamer is 11 point. Default font size in Beamer is 11 point, and at full screen mode this font size corresponds to 22 point, so it is more than enough. So no need to set any font size in your document class. Directly we can use /document class in curly bracket Beamer, then it is more than enough. No need to add any. But available font size in Beamer presentation are 8 point, 9 point, 10 point, and so on. So these are available font size. One can set font size as per his or her requirement. Suppose I want to set 10 point, means little bit smaller as to default font size. Then what we do, in just rectangular bracket, we add 10 point after the document class before the Beamer. So it set the size. Then again important one, font theme. So font theme changes the attributes of fonts used in Beamer presentation. Each font theme has its own set of options. For font theme, we use the command use font theme and then theme name. Some standard font themes are noted here. So if you want to apply it, okay. So we take demo for that. Select tool and just copy it. Okay. So suppose I want to add font theme for this particular document in this demo. So after theme, we add that, and suppose the standard theme I'm using serif. So just observe carefully before run the program how this first slide, Beamer, Ganesh, all these names appeared, and after the run, after using font theme serif, how that look. Okay, so you can check the changes here. Okay, so this is use of font theme. So one more command to change the font family is use package. So in previous one we use font theme. Now here we have to add the user package and the font family name. Some user packages are inbuilt in Beamer installation, but some are not available. So firstly we have to check whether it is added in our package or not. And then according to the standard one, we just add sheriff or Eulers or new cards event here, and we get again same illusion for that particular slide. Now alignment. So again, this is covered in first session, but still for the frame, we have three types of alignment: left, center, or right. And for align the text or frame, we use this special commands. So code for center alignment is whatever you want to present in centrally align, just add that total number or total words in begin center and end center, and here is the output. So this beamer presentation is automatically goes to center. Similarly, we can use begin left plus left and end plus left, so it shifted that beamer presentation to left side and so on. Now spacing, this is the important one. We can generate vertical space by using vspace command or vskip command. But be careful, whenever we use vskip command, we have to add the brace bracket for the number point. And for vskip, there is no such brace bracket. We directly add the number. For example, slash vspace 5 point in curly bracket space vspace. So we have to apply the curly bracket. Vskip, there is no curly bracket. So vspace in curly bracket 5 points will create a 5-point vertical space. Not only vertical, we can add the horizontal spaces too. So using same command, instead of V, we use H for vertical space. So H space in curly bracket, whatever number you want, add here point, or H skip, there is no curly bracket again, number point. If you avoid this bracket or number, just add the command slash vskip or slash vspace or slash H space. Its default take 1 point space in between the words or in between the lines. Other measurement can be used, means instead of this pt point, we can use centimeters, inches, millimeter shown here. The negative values also be used to squeeze the distance between text, graphics are together. For example, here we have vskip minus 10 points or hskip minus 1 centimeter. Now table. So I think already in second session, this tabular environment are discussed. So fastly we covered it. Using the tabular environment, simple tables can be created in Beamer presentation. Table always start with the command slash begin tabular. In next curly bracket, there are 3 C's. So that 3C means again 3 columns, but not only columns, they are centrally aligned. So 3 columns centrally aligned. So columns can be aligned left, center, or right. So instead of this C, just we have to use either L or R or C, whatever you want. We can use the mix alignment too for the tables. For example, here in curly bracket we have L, C, R, 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 means the element from first columns or element in first columns are left aligned, then elements in second column are centrally aligned, and afterwards all the elements from last 3 are right aligned. The table are constructed in row form, and sign is divides each cell and each row other than last must end with double line. Means whenever we end up the lines or row, we have to add this to slash. No need to add that to slash at the last row. And finally, we end the tabular, close the table. The typical Beamer table look like this. So basic format for table is begin tabular, 3 columns are there, CCC. So we add first row as cell 1 and so it divides that cell 2 and cell 3. Then this is completion sign, first row is completed. Then second row, cell 4 and cell 5 and cell 6. Now it is last row, so no need to add that double line and end tabular. So its output look like an array. So it is simple array. Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4, cell 5, cell 6. Now, already previous speaker tells that if you add vertical line in between these C's, the vertical line between the columns are produced. Similarly, if you add H line before the each row, then horizontal lines are created. So we can read that table like this. So I'm just adding vertical lines here and horizontal lines here after each column and each row. So we get a grid table. Then the most important part of the Beamer presentation is overlay. I think we already discussed about overlay, because when we add one frame, it corresponds to one slide. But if you use the overlay command in between that, then it corresponds to multiple slides. So overlay controls the order in which parts of the frame appear. For example, here I control that first line. It is most important part of Beamer presentation. Next, on next click, we get overlay control the orders of which part of the frame appears. Next click gives next line. So this is one type of overlay. So the audience, by bringing their attention to the information that is currently being discussed. So it is very important for presentation point of view. An easy way to implement an overlay is to place the pause command /pause command between the parts you want to show up separately. For example, after first line, I have entered pause command here. Then after second line, I have entered the pause command here. So automatically, when the slide started, it takes pause after first line. So obviously in LaTeX code, I have entered /pause command here. Then after second line /pause command, and so on. So that is use of /pause overlay, and it is very important. Without overlay, frame will represent a single slide. We already discussed this. Otherwise, to display effects, multiple slides are generated in succession to give the illusion. So it creates one type of illusion. So on next click, for example, pause creates multiple separate slides. The first slide display the information containing above the first pause. So you can simply observe it. So my first pause is after illusion. So first slide containing only these 3 lines. Then after next click, we get this. For example, pause created multiple separate slides. Then again, I am putting second pause. So for next click, it shows the text between 2 pause, first pause and second pause. The first slide displays and so on. So this /pause command is very important. So what is use of that? So let's take a simple example. LaTeX code for solving equation x plus 3 is equals to 7. So it is very simple. X plus 3 is equals to 7 means x equals to 7 minus 3, and therefore x is equal to 4. So how to represent it in your presentation, or how we modify that in how to modify that using pause command. So here is the solution. So after solution, we use first pause. Means your first illusion is up to solution. So there is no after lines. Then first pause means after first click gives given equation is, since it is mathematical, we use $sign here. X plus 3 is equals to 7. Then again double line means next line, and we take pause. So student only see this given equation is x plus 3 is equals to 7. So on next pause, next click, it gives next line. Therefore, x is equals to 7 minus 3. And finally, next pause gives final answer. X is equals to 4. And here we use F box, which is already discussed in text boxes. So that is a very important role of pause in presentation. So one more thing, we already discussed about table. So at a time, how to use pause in tables and how to color that. So if you I'm just using this, and okay, in this template site or a demo, we delete all the slides, and in first one, okay, /end frame. So begin frame, end frame. Then in between that, I'm put at this table. So by simple observation, one can say that this table has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. If you run it, Okay, it gives table, but be careful, we use pause after first line. So class ABCD, that is the only output. If you click one more, then it gives second row, X 1, 2, 3, 4, up to second pause. Then next click gives next row and so on. So this is total output. But at same time, I want to color the rows. And for color the rows, we have to replace the standard document class in curly bracket beamer by X color is equals to table first of all. And then we have to add this command before the table. So firstly, instead of this tail point, we use X color is equals to table. Okay, and before the table we add slash row color in curly bracket 1, and then in next curly bracket I want suppose blue color with 20%, and next I want again blue color percentage sign 10. So we use same row colors, 1 blue percent 20% and blue 10%. So its illusion is like this. So no doubt we use same color blue, but shades are different. For first blue, we use 20% row colors. Yes is missing, so it shows the errors. Okay, so output is ready. So you can check that first row is blue with 20%, then second with blue 10%, third is again with blue 20%, and so on. So this is color background for particular. Instead of blue, we can add red color, green color, whatever you want. And one more thing, what is this one represent? So this one means from which row we want to start the colors. For example, I am adding 3 here. Then it starts coloring from third row. Left first two as it is, and then coloring from third row. So first two as it is, and it start the coloring from third row. So that is beauty of this beamer. So this is the output, which is already discussed. Then one more important overlay is the on slide. So on slide overlay specification, that overlay specification we have to write in the angular brackets, and then whatever text you want. This command will control the sequence. Be careful in last overlay /pause. It just create one by one illusion. Sequence is fixed, but for slash on slide, we directly jump from one text to another text. So this slash on side angular bracket 3 dash and then in curly bracket beamer, what it means. So on slide, it appeared at third position. Beamer word appeared at third position. So to elaborate this example, let's play the TikTok. So here is some code. So we firstly use the huge command. We already know that huge means the output is a little bit with a greater font. Then begin center, end center. It is just align center. Then begin tabular and end tabular means we have table with 3 columns CCC and 3 rows. Okay, 3 columns and 3 rows. The middle column is in between the 2 vertical lines, and middle row is also in between 2 horizontal lines. So it looks like hash sign. So this is my output for table. Then what about in between the terms? So already we have one illusion. We create the first illusion for reading that table. Now at second position, I want X. So we add here slash onside to dash in the angular bracket and then X. It means that and second position we get X. So we can easily see this. So first layer, mark the X sign with red color. Then at third position we get O, then fourth position X, fifth position, we get O, and so on. So it creates that beautiful illusion. So we can jump anywhere. That is the again important one for slash on slide. Now the formatting of table, we already discussed about table, so many examples are taken, but can we use that on slide command inside the tables? So one can easily check this. It is begin tabular, end tabular with 3 columns and 3 rows again. After first column we have 2 vertical lines. After second column we have 1 vertical line, and after first row we have 2 horizontal lines, and after second row we have 1 vertical line. Now what I want, I skip that here actually on-site command. So using on-site command, I want output like this. So firstly I want this availability 1 2, that is row number 1, and source 1 2, that is column number 1. So like this, and then this element 52 48 65 45 one by one, like this. So what we do? Yes, any guesses? Can anybody want to share the code how we create this illusion? So actually it is very simple. So let me demonstrate it. We start with this and copy it, and okay, so I paste that, and if you run it, it gives just a background, just a tabular format. Okay, so we get within one shot output as this. But my question is, using onsite command, I want first row on first click with first column, and then this entries one by one. So what we do? So simply what we do, we add on slide angular bracket, and then whatever you want that in curly bracket. We just copy this for all and then discuss about the positioning. So I'm copy everywhere for each element of that table. Be careful, if you forgotten that close the brace bracket, then it take lot of time to find the error. So whenever you open the brace bracket, then close it. Okay, so this is ready. Now in first illusion we have to create only grid. So first already reserved for grid, then I want this at second place, similarly this at second place, then source second place, then source second place, then I want this 52 number at third place, 52 this one, then after that I want 48 at fourth position, then 65 at fifth position, and finally sixth position is for 45. And if you run it, you get the desired output. Okay, so in first illusion it creates only grid. Then on next click it shows first row and first column that we set here. The next click it gives first number 52, then 48, then 65 and 45. That's it. Now the listing. So again, in first session, this listing command is elaborated. So Beamer includes 3 methods for displaying list: atomize, enumerates, and description. So when we recall this 3 listing commands, at the same time we add some illusion or overlays for it. For example, okay, firstly we discuss about the environment. Each list environment is structured in very similar way, whether it is atomize, enumerate, or description. We already discussed it. Each new atom is added by the command /atom. Then very important for Beamer presentation, make sure this list environment should be begun and end at and same slide. Means whenever you start the listing command, it ends on same slide only, otherwise it's generate the error. We can use simple overlay. In rectangular bracket we add angular bracket, and then inside that angular bracket we add plus minus sign. So this is one type of overlay, like a pause and on side. After the slash begin environment, in any of this, it automatically pause after each atom. For example, so let's start with first list environment, that is atomize. So atomize, we know that it displays the bullet form. So with this, I'm using only this extra part, square bracket, inside that square bracket, angular bracket, and then plus minus sign. So it creates the illusion. So how that illusion created, after each atom, it takes auto pause. No need to add pause after each atom. So we can check the output here directly. So firstly, we have list of atom here. Then first atom is displayed only. Remaining two are hidden. So when we click, the next atom is displayed. So that is the important role of this overlay. Third overlay, rectangular bracket. Inside that we have angular bracket and plus minus sign. So after each atom, it takes automatically pause. Same thing for second listing environment enumerates. It numbers the list, no doubt, but after each atom, I want pause, so we add only this command after the beginning enumerates. That's it. And for description, same illusion created. Now one can ask the question, if we have big list, for example, I'm already type here atom 1 A to Z. So this is big list, and if you run it, it creates only one frame up to H, and after H all are hidden or outside the frame. And already I told you that when we use this listing environment, it starts, means begin and end on same frame. So what we do, how we add all the elements in one frame. So what we do, either we use description on each frame, or we have one shortcut. We just add the environment here, allows frame break, allow frame breaks. After begin slide, we just L is remaining, sorry, frame break. Okay, WL, sorry. Okay, so we just add the frame title as the big list. It automatically create big list 1 A to G. The next big list 2, sorry, big list 2 from 8 to 14 elements. Then big list 3 15 to 21, and so on. So that is use of this allow frame break command. If something is not fitted inside the one frame, then we can allow that frame break command. Then frame structure, it is also important one. Beamer provide many ways to structure the frame so that they will well organized and easily followed by audience. In this section, we'll focus on columns, blocks, and boxes. So how to add columns in the frames? So column environment is like this. We start with the begin column, then we add column in curly bracket dot double x slash text width. That dot double x represent the percentage of width of the slide. Then whatever you want to put in first column, then next column, again same environment, and whatever you want to put in second column, that is in second column. Then empty column. So this is environment to create the column. For example, so here we start the column, empty column. First column having only input and second column having output. And this 0.5 represent text width, percentage text width. So this output is first part having input, second part is output. So we get two columns by using this environment. Then blocks. So blocks can be used to separate the specific sections. If something is important, it will be highlighted using blocks. So for example, I have used box here. So this is also important because it represents the block code. So this is one type of block. So how to add this block? So to add this type of block, we use begin block, end block command, and to give the title of the title for that block, we just add curly bracket after the begin block and add the title of that block. And this double colon hello everyone is called as body of that box. So the output is how to add the block, that is the title, and then hello everyone. This is the output in the inside the block. So there are some standard block environments. So first one is theorem. So whenever we write theorem, it automatically takes its own color scheme. Similarly, lemma, proof, corollary, example, alert box. So here are some examples. Instead of begin block, end block, if you use begin alert blocks, end alert blocks, then it shows red color block. Next, if instead of block, if you use theorem, then it takes blue color. Now, instead of block, if you take example, then it takes green box. So these are some standard type of blocks. These are inbuilt, no need to add any packages for this. Then graphics. So I think in second session already speaker told you how to add the graphs or pictures inside the presentation. So same same package we use here. Use package graphics to preamble, and then this package support almost all the common graphics format: .pdf, .jpg, .jpg, and .png. The file which you want to include should be in same folder. This is also last speaker told you where the text file is saved. For example, I want to add this beautiful picture of PCCU campus. So what we do, we just add the command /include graphics in square bracket, width and height for that picture, and whatever name you given to that picture, just write in this curly bracket with extension .jpg. Now, in previous session, Amjad sir very nicely teach us how to use TXZ package. So we can add TXZ pictures directly, but be careful to add that TXZ pictures. Firstly, we have to add this use package in curly bracket TXZ in preamble. So how to add TXZ pictures in presentation? So just start with begin TXZ picture, end TXZ picture, and suppose I am using this extra command for it, /slide in bracket ball, then color for that ball is red, 90% red, center is 0, 0, and circle is radius for that circle is 1.2 centimeter. So it look like this. So we can easily add the TXZ picture. Now, one can add the picture with caption. This is also discussed in previous session. So we have to use the command begin figure, end figure, and this rectangular bracket H is important. H means here where you want actually that diagram, and this inside commands are same. /include graphics with something width and height, the name of the graph, and finally /caption. So whatever name you want for that figure, just add in this caption one. Then finally, bibliography, how to add references. Whatever work you referred, you have to add in this bibliography. So to add the bibliography, we use the command /begin the bibliography before the starting of frame. So you can easily see this. Firstly, we write /begin the bibliography, and then we start the frame. And after completion of frame, we end the bibliography. And inside the frame, we have to add one by one bib item, means short name of that particular bibliography, then author, title, years, journals, then volume, number, and pages. And one more thing, this curly bracket 9, it represents only 0 to 9, means 10 bib atom we can add, 10 references we can add. If you want more than that, then we can add 99 here for 100 bib atoms, or 999, so we can add 1000 of bib atoms, and so on. Now, once we set this bibliography, how to refer it? So to cite the created references, we use slash cite short name of the bib atom. So whatever short name you assign for that bib atom, we recall here. And where you want to add the citation, just place this command. For example, I have created two references or bib atoms just for your understanding. First one is GT, that is myself, Ganesh Sarte, and AB as a Arifagwan. And I want to refer here more details, refer these two authors, slash GT and AB. So at a time we use two bib atoms. So it look like for more details, refer 1, 2. Just check it. No GT, no AB. Just numbers are put in rectangular bracket. So these are references. If you click this, it automatically go to the references. So it is just for presentation. Okay. So these are references. Thank you. Handed to Arif sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I request Meenakshi ma'am to proceed further. We'll start the interaction session. We got a few questions in a chat box. I request participants to please mention their doubts regarding this session, Beamer presentation, in a chat box, so that our speaker can answer those one. So few questions we got in a chat box that I'm mentioning here. First question we got from Neeladri madam. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So the first question is from Neeladri madam. Sir, question is, can we use the operations of Beamer presentation in article presentation?
Sorry.
Can we use the operations of Beamer presentation in article presentation?
Yes, we can. Obviously, we can. Because I'm started my presentation from the article only. Just instead of article, we write Beamer and add the frames. Now, if we remove the frames, then it automatically converted into articles. Remove all the frames and instead of Beamer, use the article words. It creates the article, no doubt. And if you want to just create a PDF file without any illusion, then add handout, word handout after the user document class. So it directly create the PDF.
The second question is can we display column one by one?
Yes, we can. But since it is a workshop for beginners, I am seeing that because it is little bit advanced.
Sir,
Using illusion, we can show one by one columns.
that's it, sir. I think we don't have any other question.
Thank you, sir.
Over to Meenakshi ma'am, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ganesh sir, for such an informative session. There are some few important instructions. Before that, I just like to say thanks to principal sir for giving this opportunity to organize this workshop, as well as I want to say thanks to our HOD Madam, Dr. Sanjivani Sonar, for his continuous support and motivation. Obviously, I want to say thanks to all the participants. Just because of your active participation only, this we can say that the workshop is having this great success. Actually, behind the scene, from my organizing team, many people are working. So I just like to introduce all of them also. From yesterday, you can see Dr. Surbhi Sengar, Sujata Bhambre Madam, as well as Sushma Parmar Madam in the chat box. They are giving you answers to your chats. All the Google quizzes are prepared by Mr. Dinesh Kute sir. And I think other three members are Arif Bhagwan sir, Ashwini Vazhe madam, and Ganesh Tate sir. You have already seen them as a resource person. And the most important person is there, Dr. Leena Sharma madam, who is our mentor as well as guide. Actually, when we propose the topic of latex, we are thinking of external resource persons only, but she motivated us why we can't do this, and you can see the results. I think all three sessions by our internal faculty also appreciated a lot. So I think on behalf of all of us, we really like to thanks her also. I hope you enjoyed all the sessions. Now some of the important instructions. Okay, for certificates, tomorrow we will send you the feedback. We will see the attendance only. Obviously, as we said, we will not see the results. So no criteria is there for passing and all. As we forwarded all the Google quiz, we will just check what is your attendance, and according to that only, we will send that feedback link to all those participants who have attended all the sessions. Tomorrow, we will send you that link. Attendance link for the fourth session. It is forwarded in the chat box. This will be open up to 6 o'clock again, like yesterday. So within next 1 hour, we will try to upload all the video recordings on same Mass Mania group. We will send you the link on WhatsApp group, so you can see the videos, and then you can solve this quiz also. Even though if you have some problem, you can contact us definitely. After filling the feedback form only, you will receive the certificate. In case of any problem, for next 2 days, still our WhatsApp group will be there. Even we are mailing you, so by mail through also, you can contact with us. In case of any problem, you can contact with any one of us because all are there in WhatsApp group. I hope you enjoyed all. I like to say thank you to all of you because I think actively participation is very much important, and from your side I think we are getting many suggestions also, that is really very much important. So thank you all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. I also would like to add this thing that in a Zoom chat, I got a one request to arrange this workshop later on also. So surely from our side, we'll commit you that when all the things will be normal, we'll plan this same session, same workshop offline also at our PCCOE. So seeking the same kind of participation from your side. Thank you very much. And I think we'll conclude the meeting now. Shall we, ma'am? So thank you, participants.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
end up the meeting.